and theft of a motor vehicle.
Okay, let's begin.
Guilty.
Can they hear us over there or what?
Yep, we can hear.
Yeah, okay, fantastic.
Right, let me hear from the prosecutor to start.
Right, okay, sir. Let me just.
Didn't come prepared. Police not come prepared.
Well, that shall change very quickly, sir. Right, okay. So we've got a Mr. Billy McAllister who was arrested on the 21st of May.
Okay, Mr. McAllister, can you rise?
I'm
He's
over
here,
here.
Judge. He's here, Judge. Would you like him to come to the table?
No, that's fine. Yeah, just want to know where he is. Thank you. Sorry,
Okay.
officer. Proceed.
No worries, sir. Okay, so Mr. Billy McAllister was arrested during a uniform patrol by two police constables, 250 and 231, who are the gentlemen also present today. He was witnessed in a stolen marked police BMW 1 Series driving on Bay City Ave, postcode of 319. The officers continued to follow the vehicle and attempted to perform a traffic stop for the postal 311. Mr. McAllister was witnessed exiting the police vehicle dressed in the items of clothing that resembles that of a police officer. Upon his arrest, he was then brought into custody and questioned upon the facts. Can you confirm that you've received the court bundle?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to bring forward now the arrest report from the officer. So Mr. Billy McAllister, as stated, was arrested for the above offences. The male was cited by the officers wearing that of black hair, black facial hair, wearing dark long sleeve top, black trousers, black shoes, black gloves, a duty belt, displaying handcuffs and various other articles.
Sorry, can I just stop you there?
Oh, certainly.
Mr. McAllister, I don't want you to cross your arms in my court, please.
I'm sorry?
Could you unfold your arms, please? Thank you.
My arms aren't folded.
Oh, they're wearing my eyes.
Do as the judge says. Just keep your hands down by your side.
Sorry, continue, officer.
No worries. So wearing a utility belt with various other items, which I will get across momentarily, and a stab vest, which can be seen by one of the officers with the words "police" written on it, and this is evident from the report stated from the officers. It is also evidence in the various clips that have been submitted as evidence today. I will give due to the suspect, as he did pull over immediately after the officers did light up the vehicle. But then the suspect immediately started asking why was he being stopped, to which he was replied to as that the car was not showing its GPS tracker. Okay, now that GPS tracker had been dismantled from the vehicle, which is evident in one of the items I've submitted today, which is the vehicle audio only. Okay, it can be witnessed. Bear in mind that this is due to the stolen police vehicle not having the dash cam unplugged from the fuse board. So therefore the tracker was still recording the frontal view of the vehicle and the audio within the vehicle. And that's evident within the clip titled "Tracker Out." You can hear that the suspect is rummaging around, talking to himself, looking for the fuse, and removes it from said tracker vehicle. Okay. After that, he then further claims that he's working on behalf of a task force in lines with illegal modification task force, which I can confirm today for the court that there is no such task force in place within Essex Police. for such tasks to be taken. As it is aware, any officer, whether that is a clothed officer or a plainclothed officer, is by law required to carry a warrant card. Upon the request of the officers for Mr. McAllister to issue his warrant card, the suspect replied that he didn't have a wallet. This was evident that the suspect did not have a warrant, as we could not identify him until we was at the station to which a fingerprint exam was done, and that's how we got the identity of the male. So further again, just points to prove that Mr. McAllister was not a real copper. He is not a real police officer, and therefore was impersonating a police
Put
officer.
your phones away, please. There's no
this-
phones in my courtroom. Sorry, continue.
No worries. At this further time, he was then arrested on the scene for the suspicion of impersonating a police officer and the theft of the motor vehicle. Whilst also what I've just read there can be seen on the dash cam of the two arresting officers from their vehicle, and that is evident in the pack bundle that has been issued. Now, I'd like to also point forward a transcript from one of the officers' body cam that
Okay,
Mr.
yeah.
McAllister also claims, whilst being searched under Section 32 of the Police and Criminal Evidence Act, that he is in possession of a crowbar. He makes a claim that this crowbar is part of his work tools as he works for Repo. Now, if he works for Repo, sir, I ask you, why would he be a police officer in police uniform stating he works for Repo? And that is, in fact, he is not a police officer. He is impersonating a police officer, and therefore his real job must be that of a Repo. Further to the evidence I've got for you, Your Honour, is the DNA. CID have took the vehicle back and done a sweep of the vehicle. Okay. Upon examination, there was a hair molecule that was captured from the vehicle and was tested. This was tested in line with the procedures and did match the DNA of Mr. Billy McAllister. Now, sir, Mr. McAllister is known to the police, and I must let you know that it is the fact that he has been in police vehicles before. That is not a question. However, it is standard procedures that all suspects are never placed in that of the driver's seat of a vehicle. Therefore, there is no possible way that a hair could possibly be given in the upper section of the roof as you get out of a vehicle.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Understood. Yep. That answered the question that was ringing around in my head, so thank you.
No problems. Now, with regards to the taped interview when your Mr. McAllister was in police custody, I take you back to interview number 1, timestamp 6:33. The Mr. McAllister claims in the interview that he has in fact applied for the police before, but did not follow through with it. That is unclear as to what that reason is. It may have been a personal thing, it may have been a police thing. We've got no record on the police side of HR to bring that up, but that is just from what Mr. McAllister stated. So he's got a background of wanting to be in the police, wanting to be a police officer. So maybe he was just fulfilling a dream. However, as the Police Act states, it is still an offence to impersonate a police officer. Further in that interview at 7:45, it was asked to Mr. McAllister, what makes a police officer an officer? And his response at 8:26 is that of an item of clothing that resembles police, be that written on a vest. Now, as you can see from the officers here who are present today, their body armour has that of police written on it. And it's evident from the pictures of Mr. McAllister when he got out of the police vehicle on that initial stop. He was in fact wearing a vest that had the word police written on it. He also had the utility belt, which can be seen by the officers, which has the same semblance of that of a real police officer. Okay. On the same interview, number 1 at 13:40, Mr. McAllister stated that he's not legally an officer, which just goes to show, again, he is not an officer. He has, in fact, impersonated a police officer. He has been wearing the same items of clothing, be that whether he got that from a fancy dress shop. That is not negotiable, because that is just that can still be impersonating a police officer, regardless of where the items have come from, as his solicitor did state in the interview of Mr. McAllister. With regards to the theft of the motor vehicle, yes, it can be questioned that the original vehicle, when it got took, there was no knowledge of who took the vehicle. But the offence still counts as, in fact, driving in that vehicle. Mr. McAllister was the gentleman who stepped out of that police vehicle, which is evident on the police dash cam footage. And it was Mr. McAllister who was arrested at the scene of that stolen vehicle once exiting it. And it was Mr. McAllister who was identified via fingerprint at the police custody up on his arrest. So I leave it to you, Your Honour, to take away from the facts and the evidence I've presented you today to find Mr. McAllister guilty of impersonating a police officer under the Police Act and theft of the police vehicle.
And what of the uniform?
Sorry, say that again.
And what of the uniform? Are you going for charges of said uniform?
That is part of the impersonating a police officer.
No, that's 3 separate charges. So are you going for a charge of stolen uniform or not?
No, we've got no knowledge of that uniform coming from a government-funded body.
Okay.
So that could be privately sourced. However,
Okay.
it's still an offence to have uniform that assembles that of a police officer.
Okay, thank you. Right. And the defence, I'd like your opening statement, please.
Yes, sir. My name is. My name is. I can't get over the step, but my name is Mr. Litterus. I am working under Overy Solicitor Consultants. I'm defending my client here, Billy McAllister. I'd actually just firstly like to, if possible, Your Honour, pull up on a few statements made by the officer in his opening statement, if that's possible.
Yeah, okay.
The first would be the statement of audio footage captured.
Yeah.
My worry here is that the audio captured wouldn't actually be, in my eyes, evidence enough to show that that was my client. Purely, I don't know whether the police have a form of voice recognition or voice matching, but under the or as part of the interview, there was no voice matching taken. I do not believe, and if so, then that would have need to have been agreed by me and my client. So that is my first point.
Okay.
My second point is that I would just like to clear up that the uniform, in quotes, that was used here was actually fancy dress, and my client was on the way to a fancy dress party. So that was that. Thirdly, in terms of any identification or any pictures, it was nowhere stated for on my client's side that he had any tattoos of any form. If you look at the evidence presented, you can see on his neck, on his right, so your left, there is a tattoo on his neck. There is also a tattoo, I believe, on both hands, that again would have been shown if he had no gloves, which I believe he did take off in the interview room. But I just want to focus on the tattoos. So that's that.
Your Honour, may I come in?
I'm still commenting with my statement. Thirdly, in regards to the DNA and the fingerprints, could I confirm, and if police could come back when Mr. McAllister's fingerprints were first taken, if possible, just so we can get that for the record.
Okay.
Next would be the hair found in the vehicle. Now, I understand, and my client agrees, that yes, he has been in police cars previously. However, as you can understand, Your Honour, if your hair fell out, you understand that obviously the wind
That
can
sounds
take that
about
hair
right.
very, very easily. So that hair could have dislodged from my.
Right, well, basically what's happening is he's claiming it wasn't him and he wasn't impersonating the police officer.
Being stuck in the front seat or the front headlining only. Again, very, very questionable from my side.
Yep. Okay.
Just going through here. Again, I understand that the fingerprints were taken and a hair sample was taken, which apparently they found, as I said, in between the car. That would be something that, again, I would be worried about, you know, first and foremost. And then on top of that, we would like more information on the fact that there has been some things missed out of the interview that was spoken about.
Okay.
Ow.
That's me tight writing. I do apologise, sir. I was writing on a short.
And that's everything from me.
Okay.
Bang.
I believe we need to take a brief 5 minutes for everyone to stretch their legs. So yeah, if you just give me 5-10 minutes, and we'll all come back to the courtroom.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Time to go for a smoke.
Yeah, head up the front.
Your arms are up, Gary.
Still up.
Down.
There we go.
Oh my god. I just belted an officer in front of a judge.
Fuck's sake.
Yeah, kicked him in the head.
My hair, bro.
Absolutely knocked him out. Well done.
That's because I'm trying to write down what he's saying on my notepad, and I hit my mouse. My mouse hit my bottle of Dr. Pepper.
Right, alright.
Oh,
Come over here for a sec.
Oh, thanks, sir. I really wanted that.
well.
No, I just
told you
need
was gonna
Frost.
pick holes in it,
No, I just need Frost a
and
second.
I have. They've missed out.
Yeah, I
on
just
a
need
lot.
Frost for a
Hang on,
second.
chap.
Can you wait over there? Thank you. Right, for the viewers, give us a quick brief of why you were in court and what the case is about.
Okay, so today we are in fact in court for a gentleman who is suspected of impersonating a police officer. Well, he's been charged with impersonating a police officer and theft of a police vehicle. So we've given the evidence that the police have gathered and compiled. We've presented that to the court. The defence have come back with their counter questioning on the case, and the judge has now called for a recess momentarily, and we are just waiting to enter back in and resume the case.
Very good. Perfect. Thank you very much. Right. So, now you all know what's going on. Quick brief. So yeah, we're just waiting for it to go back into the judge and see how things go.
I hope you guys have gave me all the evidence you have got.
Yeah, hope you're ready to make a statement if you get called on.
I think we probably will. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think it's going to be too hard.
If you do get called upon, right, all that because he is innocent until proven guilty. So it's our duty to put the evidence forward and make the point that he has committed these offences.
I think at the moment they're trying to go on technicalities of it's not him because of appearances, but the problem is they've got a clear chain of continuity from him getting out of the car, being cuffed,
It doesn't
in
matter
custody.
that whether he's had tattoos or not. He was the guy who got arrested in
Yeah, yeah,
court,
exactly.
transported to custody, and was
Yeah.
fingerprinted.
Either way, it was him.
So regardless of having no this, no
Exactly.
that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're trying to get off some technicalities, but there's a clear chain of custody that's had no interruptions and no loss of sight, so you can't argue wrong person.
Exactly.
I don't understand why he's trying to argue the case of audio when the dashcam also has video.
Because the dashcam only records out of the front of the vehicle.
Doesn't record inside the vehicle.
Yeah, but does the dashcam capture him walking up to the vehicle, breaking into it?
No, because he never at one point he never stepped over the front of that vehicle's bonnet.
Either way, he's still found in possession of the stolen vehicle. So.
Yeah, he was still
He
arrested
was.
from the vehicle. He was still charged with it at the time and brought to the cells.
It's just further evidence to it that you're going to try and obviously argue against, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's an open and closed case, really. I mean, unless they've got some magic 8-ball that's going to tell them to do something right. I mean, there's not much of a
I do
case.
think I'm not blowing my own trumpet, but I do think the case presented was solid.
Oh yeah.
There's very little to dispute in terms of the points of proof, the impersonation, and the theft. So yeah.
It's harder for the defense because the defense have got to prove to the judge that the evidence is not there.
Yeah.
Everyone seems to be going in.
Looks like we're going back in. Looks like we're gonna go back in. Walk in. Beep.
Yes.
Everyone in? Everyone's in.
Yes, sir. Negative.
That was what I got from my earnings.
Oh no, I don't want that.
The Derby thing.
No.
But you won.
No, I cheated. No, I'll tell you why after. Just stay there, I'll give you this back.
Police late as usual.
Okay.
Waste of my time.
You know, because the
Yeah, I
lights.
can see them.
You know, because the lights are on the ambulance.
Definitely hear him.
I am stood right here.
Oh, I can see you now. There you are. I better come up to the stand, I suppose.
Oh, no, you've gone.
There
Harry
you go.
Potter.
Oh, there you go. If I stand like this, I can see you. It's all good.
I can't see you. I can see
Just
Sean.
stand a different way, or move your head around a little bit.
Is someone sitting in either of
Oh,
these two chairs?
There we go.
No.
Now I can see you.
I'm taking this chair.
Okay,
The judge has
okay.
vanished.
Everybody ready?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yes, Your Honour.
I have a couple of questions.
Yes.
Is it Mr. Frost, Officer Frost, Constable Frost?
Uh,
I'd like to be
Officer Frost will do me, sir.
Officer Frost. There's one thing I'd just like to get out in the open that I'm going to throw out of court was the fact of the tattoo situation. There's lack of evidence, and tattoos can easily be removed and replaced. So that's getting struck off, I'm afraid.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I have a question about the police car.
Yes.
Where did he get it from? Any ideas?
The police car in question was reported
Thank you very much,
stolen
gentlemen.
from
Every little helps.
a
It's all for a
call
good
that
cause.
came into the control room about a suspicious male at the Legion car park just in the centre of the city.
And what was the
We're
car
up to
doing in Legion
€61
car park?
out of our
An
150.
officer
Sorry,
was
£61 out of
responding to a
£150
999
goal
call.
for our
And
donation.
did he get a
run.
description of this suspicious male?
Which is
Don't
the
forget to,
male in question.
Yeah, the
Hold on.
man that you said that there's
Yeah.
a suspicious male stole the police car.
We're up to 61 bucks out of 150 bogus one. So don't forget to share the stream so we can try hit our goal, guys.
Vehicle. We do believe it was a hoax because when the officer arrived on scene, there was no such sighting of the male who had been reported to be indecent on the premise of the Legion car park.
Okay, so what you're telling me then is that the officer turned up to this call at Legion Car Park, left his car unlocked, unattended for a certain amount of time for someone to steal it?
The officer that arrived on scene had
No, the officer who was driving the car that left it unattended. Who's that?
that was myself.
So your car was stolen from Legion Square Car Park.
Yes.
Interesting. May I ask what you was doing in Legion Square Car Park? Was attending this call?
I was attending a 999 call as I was dispatched from the control room, yes.
And you forgot to lock your car?
I did not forget to lock the car, no, but as the nature of the 999 call, there could have been members of the public in extreme danger because the nature of that call was that suggested of a sexual content.
Okay, let me ask you this. You've got keys for the car, yes? Is it keyless, or do you put a key in the ignition?
There is keys for the vehicle, yes, Your Honour.
And how do you unlock the car? With the key, or is there key fob, buttons, etc.?
It's a key fob, Your Honour.
So you're telling me that when you put the keys in your pocket to attend this call, there was no way that you could press this button to lock this car? You couldn't do that?
Well, as an officer of the law, it's my duty to serve and protect the citizens of this city.
I understand that. I understand that. Now, in one swift movement, I can put my keys in my pocket whilst locking the car, no matter how much of a rush I'm in.
You most certainly could, Your Honour. However, if attending a police call, a police matter where civilians could be at extreme danger due to a sexual nature of an offence, I would assume that one such vehicle, of that as an emergency vehicle, would be at a safe haven.
Okay, so I can safely assume then that the car wasn't broken into because it was unlocked.
No, we have not ever stated in the evidence that the vehicle had been broken into.
Okay. My next question to you is, when you detained Mr. McAllister, what was the situation for this?
As stated in the opening statement, Mr. McAllister was, or the vehicle in question was cited by two officers on a patrol. They begun to pull the vehicle over.
So how was the vehicle driving?
The vehicle was driving in a safe manner, as witnessed via the officer's dash cam.
So there was no lights or sirens when you pulled them over?
There was no lights or sirens, no.
Right, okay. Cute. Okay. When you pulled Mr. McAllister over, was there any time that he said he was a police officer?
He did not state, I am a police officer, or he made statements that he is in work with police force.
So he didn't say he was a police officer. He was doing work for and on behalf of the police force.
He stated, I'm on a task force, and then he further stated that he is working an illegal modifications task force.
Okay.
Be that whilst he's dressed in uniform that assembles police attire, as it has the words police on it, and he is also in a stolen police vehicle, Your Honour.
So this task force that you mentioned is there such thing as the task force within the police?
Within Essex Police at this moment in time, we do not have such task force. However,
And what about the rest of the country?
However, there are task forces around other forces. However, I would not 100% for this court date today be in a position to explain what other task force could be in operation.
Okay, thank you. So when you pulled said car over, I'm assuming you pinged the number plates for the reason that was the reason why you pulled the car over, because the car come back as stolen. Is that correct?
That weren't just the only factor as well. Within the police vehicles, it does display GPS trackers for units that are on, and
Tracker.
the vehicle in question was not pinging a tracker, which has been queried in the evidence provided that said tracker had been removed from the vehicle.
So it could have been any car with police paraphernalia on, and not your police car that you've stolen.
Well, no, that's not the case, because the police vehicle that had been stolen, the bowler was placed for the BMW marked 1 series with the registration plate, and that is what was cited on the scene, which is evidence from the body cam footage of the officers.
Okay. Just give me a minute to collect some thoughts.
May I speak, Judge?
The
Just one
vehicle
second.
wasn't locked.
I'm thinking.
Make, can I have a quick word?
Of course.
The
I'm
vehicle
okay
wasn't
just to
locked.
speak to my client really quickly, Judge.
Hold on.
You can step aside for 2 minutes. Yeah.
The vehicle wasn't locked, so they're trying to claim basically what you hear. But either way, the vehicle should have been in a safe haven when the officer was responding to a situation of such nature.
I have a question about the uniform. Has it
Your
been
Honour?
clarified as original, authentic police uniform?
It is. We have belief that it is not original police uniform. However, it is still an offence to have uniform that has an appearance so nearing resembling that of a member of the police force, as stated under Section 90, subsection 2.
Okay, that's great. Could you tell me what subsection 4 is, please?
Yeah, in this section, an article of police uniform means that any article of uniform or distinctive badge or mark or document of identification, usually issued to members of police force or special constables, or anything having the resemblance of such an article, badge, or mark of the document.
I tell you, it's like you're reading off a book. You're very intelligent, aren't you, Mr. Frost?
I like to try and do my research to enhance the experience of my fellow officers.
Okay, thank you. Is that from the National Police and Improvement Agency?
No, I don't believe so, sir.
So, section 4, paragraph AB that you've just read from, yes?
Yes. Yeah, it's the legislation.gov.uk, the official act of the Police Act of 1996.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. Mr. Is it Litoris?
Literus.
Sorry, Litoris, do you have
Yes.
anything further to say?
I'm just waiting for my for my questions to be answered, Judge, in regards to the discrepancies that I noted in my opening statement.
Okay, we did go for a resource after you asked those questions as ordered by the judge, so I do apologise. Would you like to ask those now so it's clear for the judge and we can continue?
Yes, please. If you could repeat the questions, and when the questions have been finished, Officer Frost, if you could answer, please.
No problem. So first and foremost was the audio. How can we confirm with the audio that was one of my client? Because I do believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Officer Frost, but I do believe that there is multiple Scottish police officers in your force. So how do we know whether the voice is spoken where one of my client and not of one of your officers? If we can just do it one by one, it'd probably be easier for the judge to listen to these.
Yes, please. Yes, one by one, please.
Yes, most certainly. Well, as stated in the court bundle presented today under section 3.4, I have ticked that a summary of the defendant's interview is going to be used. That is the recorded video and audio of his official police interview in the custody suite. And I would put it for the judge to make a decision if he is in a position to today that both the audio from within the police vehicle and that of the audio of a Mr. McIntyre in police custody.
Sorry, who's Mr. McIntyre?
I do apologise. Mr. McAllister is that of the same persona.
Okay.
Be that when the vehicle had been recovered, the audio in that vehicle only had myself speaking, and instantly after arriving on the scene of the 999 call, the only other audio after that point is one individual, and that one individual happens to have a high resemblance to a Mr. McAllister as his recorded interview also.
Okay, sorry. Just let me ask this one question before it leaves my mind. You said that the suspect had vandalised or removed the GPS. Is that correct?
Yes.
And is that connected to the onboard recording of any device's audio or video?
The tracking device is not, no. It's the tracking device is on a separate fuse to the dash cam and audio recording devices.
Okay, thank you.
So
Continue.
I'd just like to touch again on the audio then. When was myself or my client going to be told that the interview was going to be used for reference to the audio file?
Your client has been informed at all paces of his interview. When he is cautioned by police, he is informed that it may be used if the case is brought to trial.
Oh, okay. I'm just double checking because in an interview that wasn't spoken about.
When your client is arrested, his Miranda rights clearly state that evidence could be used if his case is brought to trial.
Okay, no problem. If we didn't just like to step on to number 2, which is the uniform. And the uniform, as you said, you have no idea whether it was you don't think it was stolen or anything like that. You don't think it's authentic. I have touched on this 3 or 4 times, including in the interview, that this was in fact fancy dress, and he was on his way to a fancy dress party.
Yes.
I believe Mr. McAllister may have got himself confused when the officers asked him what he was doing or where he was going, and his response to the task force was that it was his persona for said party.
Yes. Okay. As I have stated for the judge and the court today, we are not prosecuting with regards to theft of articles of clothing. That has not been brought up. The fact of where the clothing has come from is not a matter that we as CPS are bringing up. The main issue of the clothing is that it resembles that of police clothing, which is still an
Sorry
offence.
to interject there. Could you tell me how you identified it was police? Anything on any remarkings on the said police outfit?
When Mr. McAllister was first stopped on the street by the two arresting officers, the body cam footage of the arresting officers captured Mr. McAllister stepping out of the patrol vehicle wearing that of a police vest which had written on it police.
No, just is that it? There was nothing else on there. It just said police.
Well, and the utensils that were also on the vest, which is in the comparison shot of
So no badges.
Let me allow to show you the comparison shot of Mr. McAllister. I do believe that there is a image of Mr. McAllister that has both him on the scene of the arrest, which was a still image captured by the officer's body cam, and that of him arriving at the PD. Bear in mind that the vest had been removed from Mr. McAllister for evidential purposes. Correction, not for evidential purposes. The vest had been removed due to headaches during the procedure. I will now direct you to said image if you are interested, Judge.
Yes.
Yes. Sorry, yes.
Yes, it is within the court bundle I've sent you. If you go. Please give me 2 seconds whilst I. There we go.
I'd just like to point out that the sun is shining on my lovely blonde hair.
Yeah, it looks beautiful, Your Honour.
Thank you.
Yeah, do your zip up.
Are you able to see the image in question, Your Honour? I do believe it is written in the.
Whereabouts is it, please?
Your Honour, it'll be in your Discord or email box.
Yes, Your Honour. I believe it has been emailed.
Just 1 second, please.
Would you like us to carry on while you're looking for that?
Yes, please. Yeah.
So my next question for you, officer, was the fingerprints. Could you tell me when Mr. McAllister's fingerprints were first taken previous to this this arrest?
Sorry, ask that question again.
We just want to know when Mr. McAllister's fingerprints were taken previous to this arrest.
The fingerprints are taken every time suspects are brought into custody. It's standard procedure.
Sure. Do you know when that was?
Not at the top of my head, because that was not a issue that I would have brought up, because I have not brought past offences of your client up.
No, that's fine. All I'm interested in here is just confirming when the fingerprints were taken. I don't want to go into the last offences.
Well,
It's
I
just
mean,
when the fingerprints were taken. That's
I
all.
would not have that information on me at this moment in time, because that was not something that I was bringing against your client.
Sure. My other question, which is probably the biggest one, is to do with the hair. As
Yeah.
I said, the hair could have been blown in the wind, in the air conditioning. It could have been there from, say, like a previous offence where it could have been stuck to his to the seat. It could have been stuck to anywhere, and the hair has simply blown off and ended up, lodged in the headlining of the vehicle or somewhere else. So I'd just like to get confirmation as to if that's actually been considered at all.
What I can state is that the CID officers have performed their duty, and upon searching that vehicle, they did find one microscopic hair molecule, which was then examined, and that was found to match the DNA structure of a Mr. McAllister. That hair strand was found in the headrest of not the headrest, the overlining of the vehicle, just above of the driver's door, and I leave it to the court to take the evidence presented and the counter from Mr. Litters and
Sure.
make a decision based on
So
what
I
the
just want to confirm whether you're
scientific
actually
advisors have
sure.
found.
That it was just to check whether you were actually, whether that was something you were trying to bring forward in terms of evidence to potentially find Mr. McAllister guilty, that the hair could have been lodged in there from a previous arrest. That's all.
As I have stated, and it may sound like I'm copying myself, the scientific evidence was that a hair of Mr. McAllister was found in above the driver's seat of the vehicle. No such suspects do go in the driver's seat of a police vehicle if they are generally in the back of a
Sure.
car. I leave it to the judge to make a decision based
Yeah, no,
on
I was
the
just confirming that again. Wind could have caused that. Okay, so that's that. I'm just checking. I think that's everything. Again, the tattoos, which I believe Judge has already covered, which is perfect. In terms of them not being presented as any sort of identification. So that's my questions. My questions answered.
Okay. Okay, so right, here we are, it stands. I've got all the evidence. I've heard from both sides. I'd like to leave the court for 5 minutes while I go through this evidence and yeah, words cannot exit my mouth. So yeah, if you come back in 5 minutes and while I go through this evidence, and we'll have a look, see where we're going.
Okay, thank you,
Yes,
Judge.
sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
No, we'll just go. Do you want to go for another smoke, boys, or
Yeah,
yeah?
think so.
Thought so.
Your arms are up again, Addy. Right, Gary. You need another video?
Hold on.
Yeah? Yeah, please. Hold on, I'm going in my head.
Thank you. Yo. Bit wet out today, boys. Here, squeeze
this
it.
lawyer, man.
Squeeze in on under.
He just doesn't have a clue.
Mind if I do?
The guy never left our custody from the moment we arrested him, so how could he be going on about bloody hair?
Yeah.
Blowing into the car from across the city.
No, he's blown from the back of the car into the front of the car.
Yeah, but he was never in the back of the car. We're saying it was in what?
That's
Two different cars.
That's
It's
alright.
terrible.
Frost has got this, man. I believe in him. He's in his.
Well, like I said, the guy never left our custody from the moment we arrested him. We arrested him out of the car, out of the
Yeah.
driver's seat, we'd already got data on him, already got fingerprint data from him being previously arrested, so it was instantly a match from the moment he's fingerprinted this time.
Yeah, exactly.
And even if he was going to a fancy bloody dress party, what did he feel the need to take a police car as well and then tell us he was part of a task force?
Right, hold on. Let's see if we can get Frost out here. Yo, Frosty. Yo, Frosty. Hey. Buddy. He's still not there. He's still in his head.
No,
Probably preparing himself for to go back in. This is what makes Frost so great, guys.
It's funny he's trying to compile himself with the little stupid questions that are about to happen.
Well, I think the judge is going to make a judgment now when we go back in. I'm not sure.
I almost expect him to say, "How do you know this isn't the wrong guy? He teleported
Oh.
out of your custody."
Hold on. Here comes the judge. Hey, Frost. Hey, Frost. Hello, Judge.
Can you just tell me what the fine is for GTA, please?
I can. Just bear with me 1 second.
No. Whether it's a fine or imprisonment or both.
I will check now. Bear with me.
Right. Are we back in? Oh, Judge.
So I'm just getting to find out what the sentence is for GTA.
Do you want me to get that for you?
I think Gary's looking for it.
Oh, is he?
If you've got it in front of you.
Well, I haven't got it directly in front of me, but I can get it in 2 seconds.
The fuckers get that bank.
Say that again.
The bank robbery.
I'm not sure.
I see it pop up on my screen.
Yeah, I saw that. No, I left. I left Mason running the police. I told him that we were here.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. He's a good guy, man. I'm sure if he did. I told him before I came over. If there's any issues, just ring my phone. I'll come out.
So theft of an emergency vehicle.
Yeah.
No,
I want not an emergency vehicle, just in general.
Oh, right. Okay. So in general.
No, in game. What would you give someone in game that stole a car?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm
Yeah,
talking about.
right.
In Southern England,
Yes.
theft of an emergency vehicle is a £15,000 fine with 15 months jail. That's what we.
That maximum.
That's
or
our
is that
official.
standard?
That's our base. That's what we give.
Okay, no problem.
There's no minimum or maximum on it.
Right, okay. And have we got anything in there for impersonating, or have I got to make that up myself?
We would require for you to deem what is responsible for the.
If it was to sway that way, of course.
Yeah, if it was to sway that way, we would need your input on that because at this moment in time,
there is nothing.
Governments
Right, okay.
are still passing that legislation.
Okay, no problem. I'll give it 2 more minutes.
All right, Frost.
Yeah.
You need to interject there that he never left the back of the police car after being picked up, that he was in a chain of custody, that he was the one caught in the car, and he was arrested from the spot, photographed and fingerprinted.
I already passed on that though, didn't I, in my original statement?
Yeah, I know, but you've got to refresh it in his brain, man.
I don't think I'd be able to now because we've recessed for the decision.
Yeah, shit. Hopefully it goes the right way.
I'm not being funny, it's got to. The guy was arrested inside a vehicle that was reported stolen. The guy was arrested wearing police articles, like not, regardless of it being.
By the way, I think you might be shouting that one out.
Yeah. Well, either way, it's been said anyway. So,
He's screwed, Sonny.
Hopefully. All we can do is fingers
is that
crossed.
another bank robbery or is that the same one?
That's the same one.
Alright.
Yeah, well, I left Mason in charge. I told him to call my mobile if there's any issues.
I don't even think yous were required today. It was only in case the defence
Well,
questioned yous.
To be
We're
fair,
prepared to be if we need it.
Alright, I think we're going in. Back into court we go.
Someone's sitting in this chair. BJ, can you tell me someone's sitting in this chair?
No, no one's there.
I don't fucking know anymore.
Everyone's fucking gone in my eyes. Oh, there we go. No, no. Yeah, they keep popping back and forth.
Yeah.
Do. I'll go and stand by the stand, I think.
Okay, are we all ready?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Your Honour.
I'd just like. Is there anything you'd like to say before I read out my verdict?
No, Your Honour.
No, I think we're clear. I think the only thing I'd like to add on top, 2 seconds, is just to confirm that this this I wouldn't even say it was a crime, but I suppose if we're here, then it's some form of crime has been committed or potentially been committed. Is that there was no civilian hurt or anything like that? So I just wanted to confirm that.
Okay, and Mr. McAllister, have you personally got anything to say?
No, Your Honour.
Okay, right. I'd just like to begin with this phrase. The police has to have the confidence that those who not the police, sorry. The public has to have the confidence that those who are dressed as police officers are police officers, and we must take this very, very serious. Now, the uniform presented as evidence is definitely not a fancy dress uniform and was bought with the intent to deceive the public and or other services. Therefore, this action was to deceive and impersonate an officer. So for this, Mr. McAllister, I find you guilty.
The receipts were provided from the store, Your Honor, so maybe you want to go and shut that store down. If anyone buying fancy dress is now going to be convicted of a crime. I believe the flyer for the party, the said fancy dress party, was also sent over to you in our evidence pack as well. So
Okay,
there's
I'll let
proof
the
that I was
police.
on the way to.
I'll let the
a party.
police handle that situation. If you think it's a dodgy costume shop, then that's fine. But looking at the pictures of the evidence of the uniform provided, it had a police uniform and it had the police logo. So therefore, and it has the badges, which shows they are legal. So you are.
On those grounds, does that mean that every kid that runs around with a toy that has police written on it is also committing a crime?
If it has the Essex Police badge on it, then yes, it would. Would you like to continue before I give out your sentence?
I would just like to put out a closing statement to everyone in the room that there was no malicious intent behind what I did. It was a victimless crime. There was no violence or violent conduct committed by myself. I do believe if you check through my records, I have never been arrested or convicted of a violent crime. I'm not a bad person. I'm a hardworking taxpayer. I'm a business owner, and I do a lot within the community. And I would just like you to take those accounts on board, Your Honor.
Okay, I'll take that into account while I process your punishment. So the punishment will be as follows. You will be charged total fines of £15,000 for Grand Theft Auto. That also comes with a jail time of 15 months. Now, for the fact that you was impersonating a police officer and the fact that it was non-violent, I'm afraid I'm going to have to issue you with another 15 months jail time on top. So just to clarify, you will be having a total of 30 months jail time and a 15 months fine. My decision is final. Court adjourned.
Justice has not been served today.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Is there any statement to make in defence?
Sorry. Say that again.
Is there any statement to make in any form of defence, or is there no argument to be had here?
Court's adjourned, mate.
Court is over with now, so the judge has given his final verdict.
Ruling.
Okay, well, I suppose that's
sir,
it.
But Judge, whilst we are here as well, I believe that
The court has been adjourned, officer, so
this
you can
is
speak
not-
to the judge in another
Put me in
another
cuffs,
form.
take me away.
this is with regards to you, Mr. Litteris. I believe you may have submitted
in his
a
head.
court pack, Mr. Litteris, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Had you received a court pack from me that was also
Yes, sir.
I have not received such pack from you, sir. So in future, could we ensure that all correspondences are correctly
Yes, if you could send that in an email, because court's adjourned.
Just make sure that all kids walking around with Essex police toy cars are now arrested for impersonating an
Yeah,
officer.
we'll have that. We'll have that dealt with. Yeah, remember that's all.
It's okay, guys. I'll
inbound.
see you. I'll come to visitation. I'll see you guys.
You
Sure.
can
Fucking
stand up,
bullshit.
sir. You,
Come on, boys, let's go.
You're not required to be at this moment.
No problem, officer.
Excuse me, sir.
Right.
Let's get the fuck out
Boys,
of
I'll
this.
meet you round the side. My car's at the front.
We will escort
Yeah,
you.
fucking bullshit, man.
Officers,
Yes, sir.
I will. Where's your vehicle, officers? Okay.
Well, We'll get a brief down from the defense.
Negative. You will be issued with some clothing when you arrive at the HMP. So.
Okay, understood.
Okay. Right. Obviously, because you have been you have been sentenced now. Okay. The officers will be transporting you. You will be held in police custody until the transport arrives to take you to the HMP. Okay, sir.
Understood, officer.
Okay. So before you do go in the vehicle, you will be searched. All right.
Understood.
You got a crowbar.
Yeah, I work in repo.
That's perfectly fine. That will be taken from you whilst you're going into HMP. All right,
That's
sir?
fine as long as I get it back.
In
No worries.
fairness, sir, carrying a crowbar
Yeah,
into
Officer
court
Frost.
is not a very
Just 2 seconds,
idea.
guys.
I'm constantly on call for work, so unfortunately I need to make sure I've got tools available on me.
Do you hold on? Do you really think you were going to run out of your own court case to go repo a car?
No, but I was taken here quite hastily. I didn't know the court was actually today until like 3 hours ago, so I was unable to get to a place where I could put my work effects back.
How
Oh,
did you
okay,
get
that's
to the court
fine,
today, sir? Did you drive?
I was driven. I didn't drive myself.
I see. Could you not have left the crowbar in that person's vehicle?
Who's talking to me right now?
Me, sir. The cadet.
All right, you're a cadet. I don't have anything to fucking say to you then.
Well.
Yep.
Can I get you out to the vehicle, please?
Give me a kiss, Major. I'll see you soon.
Right.
Yeah,
Hold on a
right, Officer
second.
Frost.
Yes, sir.
Did you
I'm pretty
just?
sure we'll see each other in the same court again very soon, considering I have yet to receive any kind of information regarding the hit and run with an officer that hit the back of my car, left 3 of us inside the car injured, and just left the scene. I have yet to receive any type of news regarding that incident.
That is still an ongoing investigation, so we would not contact you and
Yeah.
give you information based on an incomplete investigation. So
Yeah.
it would not
Yeah.
be fair for you to get your hopes up on
Gotcha.
a partial investigation.
Yeah, I would suggest you hurry it up, because right now it's just showing that your PD is currently dealing with this unprofessionally, considering our matters, our lives were not taken in effect. The fact that I
We
was
deal with our
promised.
cases as protocols,
Like,
sir, the way
gents.
they're supposed to be dealt with. They will take as long
Gents.
as they need to take. If you want
Take him down to
a
the,
good service that will
custody suite
prevail
and,
justice based on the laws of our
he has been
country,
fined,
this is what
and
it
having
takes, and
All
your
I'm saying
solicitor
is-
will be
He's already been
contacted
fined.
as
He's
soon
All
as
I'm
we
saying
have
is,
more
if this
information.
takes too long, we'll be seeing each other in
77%.
court, and
Yes,
you won't be on the winning side this
Well,
time.
that's fine, sir. If you feel you need to go to court, you can do that.
Fucking go.
Hey,
Yes.
yeah, you need to find
Oh,
him
better
again.
make sure one of my hairs doesn't fall out my
Who?
head in this car.
Did you find
We get
the
committed another
suspect?
crime.
Yeah, why?
Yeah, because you find me.
All right. Wait
Did,
there.
can Officer Frost? Oh, he's gone.
Where's James?
Charlie Whiskey
Officer
221
Officer
on the
Frost,
back
yes.
station.
Can you
with
actually just
suspect
quickly buckle
custody.
me in? Because I'm still cuffed and no one buckled me in when I got in the car. So.
Yes. Just 2 seconds. Is there an officer in this vehicle?
Yeah.
Step out the vehicle for me a minute. Move away from the vehicle for me. Move away from the vehicle, please.
Kind of want a new car.
Right.
I'll cost one.
Okay, so I'm gonna. Officer, have you get back in the vehicle and open the door for me so I can buckle this guy in? Right, okay, sir, let me just, where's that book? Right. Alright, let me just put you there through there,
No problem.
and there we go. There we go,
Alright,
pal.
brilliant. Thank you,
Right,
officer.
you're in. Okay. Right.
Charlie Whiskey 221 on route back PD with prisoner in custody.
Did you bill him again?
Yes.